As I've gotten older, I've become more fond of simulation-style games. And I don't just mean games like Civilization or Age of Empires. Sure, I enjoy those, but nah. I mean stuff like Euro Truck Simulator, Arcade Simulator, and this week's review, Gas Station Simulator. A game where you run a gas station. Isn't it obvious? You might think this would be just a straightforward simulation, but it's not entirely. The game starts perfectly as you are driving down a lonely stretch of dusty highway and come across the abandoned building. You decide to buy it, and the first part of the game is simply to remodel it and make it less of an eyesore. This involves picking up random debris and chucking it in the dumpsters strewn around the property, along with using a mini excavator to remove piles of sand. Once you clean the place up, you order fuel, and now you have a business to run. Fueling vehicles isn't the only thing that you'll be worrying about. Oh no, there's plenty of other things to do to make money. But we'll do things piece by piece, which is how the game presents everything. You get objectives to work on before you are able to upgrade the level of your business, which in turn gives you benefits like more pumps, higher fuel storage, and so on. The game guides you for hours, keeping you on a straight, focused path. Eventually, the objectives will end though, and from there you can choose to run the place how you see fit. But anyway, back to those tasks. Fueling is the foundation of your station because without it, well, it probably wouldn't be called Gas Station Simulator now, would it? Ordering the fuel and keeping it stocked is only half of the battle here. You manually refuel your customers' vehicles as there is no self-service fueling. You insert the hose into the vehicle and then dispense fuel until the needle is in the designated area. Once that happens, the customer pays you and they get back on the road. You can also hold down the shift key in order to turbo boost the fueling, although I'm not entirely sure how this works. Oh well, that's why this is a video game. What is a good gas station without concessions? You'll be able to run a roadside mart where customers can purchase a wide array of food, clothing, alcohol, tobacco, toys, and so on. You have to make sure that you can keep a healthy assortment of items, as missing products will irritate customers and lower your fame score. Just like the fueling, you have to manually scan every item for the customer before placing it in a bag. Working retail in a past life, I can say that it's fairly accurate, minus one small detail. For some reason, there is a policy in place that if an item is dropped on the floor or into the bag without being scanned, it is given to the patron for free. Not only that, but it also annoys the customer, with them cursing you out. It's a bit strange for a customer to be angry with you for dropping an item, but I'm giving it to you free of charge, so why are you bitching? Next up, we have the garage. Although time consuming, this could be one of the best sources of income on the property. At first, you'll only be changing tires, cracked side mirrors, and all manners of scrapes on the bodywork, but eventually you'll be replacing drained batteries, completing quick oil changes, and swapping out spark plugs. These items net you a lot of cash, but they are also expensive to keep on hand. Not only this, but these auto items use the same inventory as the products you sell, so you do need to keep this in mind. Speaking of inventory, you have a seriously limited amount of it at first. Upgrades to the inventory system are definitely handy, but I will say that reading the inventory stats in the order screen can be a bit confusing. You are given a white number, a gray number in parentheses, and a yellow number. If I'm reading this right, the white number is how many items you currently have stored, and the yellow number is your maximum. I believe the gray number is how many slots will be filled up once the order is placed and delivered, so if this goes over the max, you won't be able to place the order. Regardless, it's a little confusing, and I wish they explained things a little bit better. Anyway, on to the fourth and final way to make money, the car wash. This is the easiest, with minimal work behind the scenes to get it working. A car pulls up, and you use a pressure washer to clean all the dirt off of it. Simple, right? The only thing you need to worry about is making sure there's enough water pressure, done by heading back into the sewer system and removing bags of trash that somehow end up down here. What do you do with the trash? Feed it to Gustav, of course. He's always hungry, so feel free to let him gorge. It's even better when you get the cash to automate the car wash. It's the easiest $150 you'll earn in the game, since you barely have to do squat. 4 aspects of the business to run may sound daunting, and it might be, but you can hire help to assist you. Hired help can be instructed to take up to 2 duties, with a primary and secondary task. Maybe you want a mechanic to also refuel cars while the cashier cleans the place. That's what I did for a good amount of time, so I could focus on the operational pieces of the business. Your employees will work on a 12-hour schedule, so there will be times where you'll need to help out regardless. But they definitely do make the difference when your business is thriving and you need to place a massive product order to get shelves filled. If you start getting a bit overwhelmed and your employees aren't helping, fear not. Customers don't seem to get angry if you make them wait, even if it means a few hours will pass. I guess when you've been driving on flat tires and managed to pull into a garage, there isn't really anywhere that you'll be able to go. How they made it here in the first place still baffles me. But if you don't like making people wait, you can turn off individual parts of the property. For example, are you out of ice cream and can't get it ordered yet? You can close the shop down and just keep the gas flowing. Not recommended, of course, but the option's there. You'll be doing other logistical tasks as well. The walls will need to be painted, especially after an annoying dust storm or the even more annoying kid Dennis shows up. Dennis is obviously named after Dennis the Menace, and he sure earns that title here. You'll hear him laughing and immediately start looking for something to throw at him. Dennis will run up to your property and start spray painting graffiti on the walls. If you can throw debris at him a few times, he'll depart, but if you can't, he'll deface 3 or 4 walls before running away. I don't think it really affects anything, but we can't have graffiti on our gas station, right? Being that the game takes place in the desert, there's some interesting happenings that you'll witness. A ghostly Elvis flies through the building, playing music on his spooky guitar. The aforementioned dust storms will coat the entire place in the coarse sand, and you might need to use Rudy, the excavator, to even things out again. Vehicles get stuck on sand mounds easily, and it might cause a pileup if you don't rush to get them cleared. If things get really crazy with the traffic jams, there is a handy button in the warehouse that will summon a UFO that vacuums up all vehicles on the property and essentially starts out everything fresh. I love the presentation of this, as when you use it, the display attempts to glitch out before the aliens come to take everything away. Finally, you have the party bus. When you hear the bass thumping in the distance, you're probably going to think one of two things. Oh crap, or cha-ching, because what happens is a bunch of oddly dressed people get off of a bus and nearly buy out your store. Think of it as a dozen or so people that all enter at the same time and purchase various things. If you have an employee manning the checkout, all good, but if it's you, you'll be occupied for a little while. I only have a few minor complaints with Gas Station Simulator. 1. You cannot assign hotkeys to the various tools you have on you. So in order to pick up trash or paint the walls, you have to always utilize the tool wheel. Being able to press a hotkey would have been nice. Secondly, and I think more importantly, you cannot set the prices of any goods that you sell. The wholesale costs vary, with the game telling you what's increased in price and what is on sale, but you cannot adjust your own prices for this. I feel like if we could customize the amount of money we as an owner demand for our products, this game would be even better. But even with these small gripes, Gas Station Simulator is one of the best simulation games on the market. The tutorial guides you along perfectly. There's always something to do, and you aren't stuck doing just one thing over and over again. Every time I start this game after taking a break from it, I am hooked for hours. Cleaning the station and rebuilding it is satisfying. There is a slow but steady property upgrade system, and restocking items is very simple to do. Being able to hire employees just makes everything better, as you can just stand back and see how the hours of hard work paid off. There are multiple DLC items for the game, and I had been tempting on getting them, but after reading reviews, I've decided against them. If you are a fan of games that have simulator in the title, then Gas Station Simulator should be in your library. Final score? 7 out of 7. This is Reaper. Happy fragging.